Welcome to the Caring Matters podcast. I'm Liz Tassone. I'm the volunteer host of the Caring Matters podcast and work with Margaret Iannacci at the Caregivers Assistance Network. And I wanted to talk today about the practice of gratitude. And gratitude can be a practice that we use every day, really every second of our lives if we'd like. And I'm talking to caregivers about gratitude because I think it can help enhance the caregiving experience. So I want you to just consider this as maybe part of a practice that you begin to do, including a gratitude journal, which is just any notebook that on a daily basis you reflect on your day and think about things that you're grateful for in that day. Okay, so this is just a way of being and a way of putting yourself into a different space as you go about the somewhat mundane chores of caregiving, but to remember that there's a lot of goodness that comes out of what you're doing. In fact, what you're doing is good in itself. The help that you're providing, the love that you're giving to your loved one, that's all very good and stuff that we need to be grateful for. As a person who's received care in their life, I'm very grateful for caregivers. So I want to put that out there too. If you don't get thank you enough from the person you give care for, let me say it on their behalf, because whether they say it or not, I think there's a part of them that deeply appreciates what you're doing. So let's just talk a little bit about what gratitude is. Gratitude, I think most people have an idea of what gratitude is. It's thankfulness, it's appreciation, it's a positive emotion, it's an attitude of acknowledgement of a benefit that we receive or will receive or have received. There's a brother David Steindl-Rast who is he's a Benedictine monk who's done a lot of work in the field of what they call gratefulness. And when asked, why is gratefulness important? He said, if happiness is important, then gratefulness is important. And it's not happiness that makes us grateful, but it's gratefulness that makes us happy or joyful. And that's not dependent upon what happens. That's just a state of being. So someone asked brother David Steindl-Rast, do you believe that we all get blessings from God even if we are unaware of them? And here's his answer. The gifts or blessings of life are always there, but if we are not aware of them, they don't do much for us. That is where gratefulness comes in. Gratefulness makes us aware of the gift and makes us happy. As long as we take things for granted, they don't make us happy. Gratefulness is the key to happiness, and practicing gratitude is central to my spirituality. So that's what Brother David Steindl-Rast says. And he sees gratitude as a practice, as something he does. There was some research done by the University of Miami that showed that practicing gratitude can actually improve our emotional and physical well-being. And people who keep a weekly gratitude journal had fewer physical problems. They exercised more, and they had a better outlook on life and were more likely to reach your goals. There's a quote I'd like to read here from Sarah Bon Brecknoth, and this might get you inspired to begin your own practice of gratitude if you haven't begun that yet. She says, "You simply will not be the same person 2 months from now after consciously giving thanks each day for the abundance that exists in your life. And you will have set in motion an ancient spiritual law, which is, the more you have and are grateful for, the more will be given you." So gratitude as a practice is not necessarily about getting things to go your way or everything going your way. It's just about looking for the things even in the midst of crisis or even in the midst of mundane, in the midst of things going wrong, is kind of looking for the things that have gone right. The fact that you're still taking a breath is something to be grateful for. Sometimes you have to go to that basic level to find something to be grateful for when it's really a harried day. Another sacred ritual chant that I like to think of is, it says, we give thanks for unknown blessings already on their way. So it's kind of that attitude that maybe today doesn't seem so good. Maybe I'm having trouble finding the place of gratitude in this day, but I'm going to trust that tomorrow I will have things that I need in my life, and that those blessings are already on their way, and having the faith in that. So to me, there's three parts to gratefulness as a practice. There's an awareness of your blessings, and that can be in the usual things, such as the trees and the flowers, the crisp winter air, a deep breath, a smile. And but there's also sometimes you have to look for the unusual things, and maybe they're part of your everyday. Have you ever just turned on the shower when you're ready to take a shower and just be amazed that there's water coming out of this wall for you that can cleanse you? We can be grateful for just the simplest things, and that can be our prayer, just a gratitude for the running water in our home, the warm water in our home. So things like that. The second part of gratefulness as a practice is seeing the difficulties in our life as an invitation to growth. And this is really a hard thing to do, but knowing that even if we're in a difficult situation right now, we can ask ourselves the question, what is this inviting me to? How might I grow as a person as a result of this challenge in my life? Because we all know those are the places of growth. When things are all going our way, we don't necessarily grow a lot. When things challenge us, those are our places of growth. And we can ask ourselves that question, how am I being invited to grow in today's circumstance? So just ask yourself that as a caregiver. How is this challenging you, and how is God asking you to grow in this situation as you take care of your loved one? The third part of gratefulness as a practice is this blessings on their way, the anticipation of things coming, of thanking God for those blessings that He's got planned for us. So it's kind of got a little hopeful element to it. So I just wanted to offer that to you as a practice. To next time you're at the grocery, pick up a notebook, just a spiral notebook is fine, and just begin the practice of writing down things you're grateful for. I think you'll find that your day is better when you begin to actually sit down and think about all the blessings in your life. So again, as a person who's received care, I want to say thank you for what you do as a caregiver. It's important, and I hope that you'll find many blessings in this very day. I'm Liz Tassone. I want to thank our sponsors who are listed on this page, and I want to also remind you that caring matters.